Is the new Thrustmaster T818 direct drive wheelbase the ultimate upgrade for most sim racers? Probably not. But for people that already have Thrustmaster equipment, I would almost definitely say that it is the perfect wheelbase upgrade. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the nature of steering wheel base ecosystems, the glory of the Thrustmaster T300, and why wheel rims are really the ultimate decider as to which direct drive wheelbase you upgrade to. Fasten your seatbelts, make yourselves a cup of tea, and if you like sim racing content, maybe click that subscribe button. First of all, it's worth saying the Thrustmaster T300 is an absolutely incredible wheelbase. This was my upgrade from a G25 quite a few years ago, and when it comes to performance to price, the T300 is really great. We will do a separate video if you guys want it about the T300, nattering about why it was so good, especially at the time when it came out. If you would like it, let me know in the comments. But we're not here to talk about belt-driven wheels. No, we're here to talk about direct drive wheels and the nature of wheel rims. So the reality is that wheel rims are bloody expensive. Even the Thrustmaster wheel rims, which are some of the best value for money wheel rims, they might not have the features of the super duper expensive custom wheel rims out there, or even the material quality and features that you get on the Fanatec wheel rims, but in terms of having a wheel rim that lets you drive a virtual car, have enough buttons to activate what you need to activate on a virtual car, and have something nice and solid, the Thrustmaster wheel rims I think are actually really quite good. But even with the Thrustmaster wheel rims, the cheapest wheel rim they do, I believe, is about £120, and they go up to, I think, £400, £450 might be the most expensive, but they're around about the £250 price point for the Thrustmaster wheel rims. And that, if you've got more than one wheel rim, actually adds up to being quite a lot of money. Just as it does, whereas if you've got multiple wheel rims for Fanatec wheels or multiple super duper expensive custom wheel rims. The result being that when it comes to the DD wheelbases and the actual DD motors themselves, which are all effectively very similar, the difference in force feedback actually primarily comes from the driving simulators, the physics of the simulator, and then how the developer arbitrarily decides to then deliver their force feedback signal and the force feedback that comes out to your wheelbase. Pretty much all the DD wheels, even going back 8 years now, are up to a very good standard. I imagine the new Thrustmaster DD wheel is also going to be very similar to the other direct drive wheels in terms of feel, precision and detail of the force feedback. There are differences between the DD motors, but realistically, if you're being price conscious, which most people in the sort of Fanatec, Thrustmaster, Logitech space will be, realistically the decider as to which thing you go to is the wheel rims. So if you've already got a Thrustmaster wheelbase and multiple Thrustmaster wheel rims, well, the decision is kind of made for you if you want to save money. You could sell your old wheelbase, get the money for that, put that into the new DD wheelbase, and then continue using your wheel rims. And rather nicely, on the Thrustmaster website now, the price is up. The quick release adapter that allows you to use any of the Thrustmaster wheel rims with their new DD is only $34.99, which is a lot cheaper than I thought it would be, and I think that's really good and really sweetens things for people with Thrustmaster equipment already. Also worth saying, the new Thrustmaster DD, or the bundle that they're currently selling on pre-order right now, comes with one of the quick release adapters in the box, so you'll be able to use at least one of your wheel rims straight away without buying anything additional. Now, Thrustmaster themselves have said that they are working on doing higher end wheel rims. They already did that new Formula wheel rim, which is a pretty high end wheel rim and actually at a really good price. So I'd imagine their new higher end wheel rims will also still be very price competitive with within the space. So Thrustmaster have always typically delivered products that are cheaper than Fanatec, for example. Logitech, we don't know. They've just got their one wheel, so we can't really compare anything. But what I would say is that the new Thrustmaster, or the supposed new Thrustmaster wheel rims, we've not seen anything about them. We don't know the volume of them. We don't know what the demand will be like on them. So I would actually not really consider that in terms of it being part of my thought process of going into the Thrustmaster ecosystem. I would mostly just consider that the wheel rims they currently have are very good value for money in terms of the quality to value for money. I would say then, you know, if you want wheel rims with more features and different materials, and you're happy to spend a little bit more for wheel rims with more features and different materials, then, you know, that's when you would start looking at the Fanatec ecosystem if you were buying into one of these things afresh. And then if you've got even more money and more budget, then that's when I think you start looking into going into stuff like the Simu Cubes and the various other really high-end offerings, or more custom offerings available on the market. So yeah, it's kind of weird that we've ended up in a situation where the wheel rims are the decider as to which wheelbase that you kind of go. It's the thing that decides it, isn't the actual thing that delivers the intrinsic quality. But it's very much like the printer ink industry, really. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's probably a bad thing, you know. You get trapped into... No, it definitely is. Why am I saying that? It definitely is a bad thing. You get trapped into ecosystems. Printer ink, Apple. What we should really have, here we go, consumer muscle. What we need is a unified wheel adapter and a wheel standard. That means for £200 to £300, there's wheel rims there, or any of these wheel rims from any other company, and you can use them on any wheelbase you want. That is what we need. Down with the locked ecosystems that are incredibly profitable for business. Down with it, I say. All for the consumer. We need a unified, standardised quick release system, and we also need a cheap wheel system. It's never going to happen, is it? And the argument would be from the sim wheel companies that the fact that they can sell the wheels, it increases the margin. They might not have enough margin on the actual servo motors, so it means they can deliver their products with enough profit margin for them to operate. That would be their argument. Depends whose side you're on. Are you on the corporate side, or are you on the are you part of the peasantry? I don't know. I don't know where I'm placed, but it is a strange world of printer ink and locked ecosystems of wheel rims. Before I finish off, and for those of you that are looking at pre-ordering and getting a T818, be aware that you do also need to choose, and it's an additional cost to the product, if you're going to get the cockpit mounting kit, which costs $34.99, or if you're going to buy the desk mounting kit, which costs $44.99. Now, there's a bit of lack of detail on here, because I think you should be able to actually mount it to a cockpit without the mounting kit, because the way the desk mount attaches to the T818. Double check that yourselves. I couldn't find any more details on it or information. There's no video footage or information of someone attaching it to a rig. The Thrustmaster have been really weirdly vague with their launch and how things all work. But definitely consider that when buying one, so that you don't buy one and then you can't attach it to what you want to attach it to. But yeah, the wheel rim conundrum. As I said in the previous video, I'm really happy to have more competition on the market. I'm really like the idea of having cheaper wheel rims that actually work really nice, and it's going to be fantastic to have more DD wheels there. That, at the end of the day, higher fidelity force feedback wheels means that developers should want to actually have good fidelity force feedback. Then maybe it's an excuse for them not to bother, because they can leverage the power of the wheels rather than having more options in the simulators. That's another video. But if you enjoyed this one, guys, make sure to click that subscribe button. Make sure to click the like button. And most importantly, drink far too much tea. Till the next one, goodbye.